A lot to digest from election night and now the day after, so to help us sort through some of it.
Let's bring in retired Congressman and ABC News contributor John Katko. John, great to see you tonight. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm glad you referred to me as retired because I don't want to have to go through that again.
Wow, yes. Let's start with the White House then, right at the top. What is your reaction to that convincing win by Donald Trump?
Sure, and it was a convincing win, and I think the factor that people just kind of forgot about a little bit was the economy. And I think people looked at the higher interest rates, higher gas prices, higher food prices, higher housing prices, and everyone, I think, voted with their pocketbook. And I think for those that were concerned about President Trump as a person and his shortcomings, I think they basically plugged their nose and said, you know what, he's going to be better for me. And then some people even talked about, you know, this is about survival for some people economically. So I think that got lost in the shuffle of the campaign, and I think that was the overriding factor, along with, waiting too long to recognize a problem with Biden and not giving Harris enough time to take root. She wasn't that strong a candidate, and the border really hurt her a lot, very much so. So that whole combination of things, I think, made this much more of a rout than people thought it was going to be.
John, you served during his first presidency. You supported him. You eventually voted to impeach. You probably had more of an inner look than any of the rest of us. So what do you expect the next 4 years of his presidency?
Well, I think it depends, and I'm not being coy. It depends on whether he has learned any lessons or whether he's just going to engage in a revenge game. If he's learned lessons, or if he just wants to govern, or if he wants to have a legacy, he's got an opportunity at a second chance that most politicians don't get. It'll be great for America. But if he's going to be involved in the revenge business, I think it'll be a rough sledding. But people forget he did some good things when he was in office. It's just he had a lot of his personal conduct and misconduct was what really hurt him. So going forward, I think he has an opportunity. The only question is going to be, and it's a big question, will he embrace that opportunity or will he squander it?
And Republicans will control the Senate, possibly the House. So what do you think that will mean for policy and even his judicial appointments? He's probably going to put that right up at the top.
Well, I was telling some of my buddies today, be careful what you wish for, because now you have no excuses. You have the White House, you have the Senate, and it looks like you'll probably squeak by in the House and have a 1 or 2 seat majority, or maybe a 3 or 4 seat like you have now. So there's no more excuses. The time to complain is over. The time to govern is now. And they have an opportunity. There's a tax issue coming up again. So that's sunsetting. What they're going to do with that. They've got trade issues. They got foreign policy issues. So there's an awful lot there. They have opportunity. The question is whether they're going to take advantage of it, just like the president.
Here's something that all of a sudden, just within the last few days, got very much on the front burner for all of us here in Central New York. We're talking Micron. You work closely with them. You've done a lot of work. How concerned do you think is company leadership there about the possibility of changes or even a repeal of the CHIPS and Science Act?
Well, any concern I had seemed to have been tamped down in the days after Speaker Johnson made those statements off the cuff at a news conference for Congressman Williams a few days ago. Every call I've had since then has given me every indication that they're not going to tangle with that. I mean, why would they? Whatever amount of money the CHIPS Act costs, there's been literally hundreds of billions of dollars committed to chip manufacturing in the U.S., which is many times more than the outlay that they're going to have for the chips manufacturing. So, and it's on top of that, it's a national security concern, which the president and the president-elect both know about. So, in my mind, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I think it was a bad slip of the tongue, an undisciplined slip of the tongue, and hopefully we won't have to be concerned about that at all.
And the House still not decided, but which way do you think it'll go?
Well, it's funny. You've got a lot of races in California that are right on the razor's edge. And I was just talking to a buddy of mine from Washington State before I got on with you both, and he's up by a comfortable margin of 2% with 57% of the vote in. So he thinks he's going to be okay, but who knows? You know, so it's very, very close. And the results in California will make the difference. But it sure seems like, remarkably and stunningly, that the Republicans are going to hang on to the majority by a seat or two unless there's a major upsets in California.
30 seconds left, John. What's your advice for John Mannion? He's going to be serving this area basically what you did. He's our next congressman. What advice would you give him?
Well, first of all, enjoy the high honor that it is to be in Congress. Take it very serious. And I think that retail politics are what keeps you in office. Be home all the time. Don't stay in Washington. Get back. When you go to Costco to get groceries, stop and talk to people. It takes about 2 hours to go through Costco, or at least it used to, because I talk to everybody and listen to them and listen to the criticism. It's all about being back home, and especially a district like this, it's all about listening to the concerns of people and doing what they want you to do. And when you don't do it, you want them to do what they want you to do, explain why. And so if the more home you are, and the more you're out and listening to people, the better chances you'll have going forward.
All right, John Katko, we appreciate your time and your insight. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you.